Brian Galke.
Yes.
Welcome, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Are you kidding? You're my fave. Well, first of all, you're my doppelganger.
Yes.
We look remarkably similar.
And we have the same initials.
BG.
Yes, BG, right?
It's unfair. It's unfair.
I know.
I'm going to make you an old-fashioned. You said before you've never tried Sadashi.
I have not.
All right, so here's what I can promise you. It's a beautiful whiskey.
Yes.
I am going to smoke it, though. So it's going to
Fantastic.
alter the flavor a little bit.
Okay.
We'll do maybe a little neat afterwards.
Fantastic.
Where we're done. And you know what? You made a comment to me earlier today that I'm loving, and I'm glad you did. I'm going to make you this drink in honor of our very good friend, Steve.
Yes. That's how we know each other. We met in LA at the Speakeasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Amazing.
What a man. What's your best memory?
I'm going to tell you my most recent memory. The last event before he went in the hospital, we spoke in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
And we went across the street to Capitol Grill to go get some old fashions, right after we got done speaking. And I ordered an old fashioned. He's like, I'm going to try mezcal right now. And the girl goes, oh, do you want to try Casamigos? He's like, sure, or whatever. So my old fashioned came out and it was $25, and his came out and it was $172. And so she totally and it proved a point of, one, I got to harass Steve for the rest of the time. So that was a great experience. But that goes to show that when somebody does something for a temporary win, they ultimately lose. Because she did that, I will never refer anybody to Capitol Grill in Orlando because she should have said like, hey, by the way, it's 5 times as much as yours, but instead she was trying to get an extra tip. That was a one night win.
Love that.
But it's a lose for the company.
What a great lesson.
Yeah.
So never sacrifice a long win for a short one.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I get it. She's in a tourist town, Orlando. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I will now tell people to never go to that bar because of it. But the best part was I got to harass Steve because I'm like, hey, Steve, how good is your old fashioned? He's like, it's pretty good. I said, can you drink it with an eyedropper? Because it's $172.
Oh my God. I love it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to walk you through, by the way, the recipe. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to smoke this deep.
Absolutely.
So that's going to stay there for a good minute or so.
I'm excited. Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to do a little orange fusion for you.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to use a fresh orange.
Yes.
Snap it down just a little bit. Skin, peel, and all.
Awesome.
Because it all has flavor, right?
Okay.
Going to put that in a shaker.
Yeah.
Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, we got that smoking. You ever had black walnut bitters?
I have.
Yeah, really nice. It matches the smoke beautifully.
Yes.
So we're going to go about 3 dashes of that. Okay.
As a former bartender, I'm loving this.
There you go.
All right, yeah.
And now this is the one I love because my old fashions, I like sweet notes. Not overly sweet.
Right.
But depth sweet.
Yes.
Maple syrup.
So never tried one.
Really good maple syrup. Give it a little bit of a sweet texture to it.
Yeah.
Also matches the smoke fantastically. Okay, so I'm going to muddle this down now.
Yes.
I didn't know you were a bartender.
Oh yeah, that's how I worked my way through college. I think everybody should have to wait tables, bartend, and do retail. Because you learn to deal with every personality known to man with all those different experiences.
I love that. I literally had no idea.
Well, and being an introvert, what do you have? You have the bar as safety, right? Like, this is my bar. I'm in control of it.
Yeah.
So out in public, I was an introvert. Behind the bar, I was Brian, the bartender.
Charge, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, here's something that might be, I don't know, maybe you're going to like this, maybe you're not. I often serve my old fashions neat. I know the single cube, but I think the ingredients have to stand.
Right.
I don't want them to dilute. And I use good stuff, Sadashi, good quality maple syrup. Like, I want them to stand on their own. Chilled from the stir.
Right. Pretty good. All right.
I hope you like it, brother.
I'm sure I will.
So let me do this really
I was going to say, we'll have to cheers.
Cheers to you and to my brother, Steve.
Hey, yes.
Cheers, Steve. He's watching right now. Yours is better than mine.
Oh, yeah, I'm keeping this one.
Yeah, I do that?
Yes. Oh, that's very good. I'm trying to remember. I have is it Satori is the other? I have a Japanese whiskey. Okay, that one I've had. I've never had that one, though. That's really good.
It's delicate. It's way more delicate than the Satori, but it holds up the smoke well. It works in an old fashioned.
Remind me when we're done, I'll take a picture of it because I will definitely order that again.
Absolutely, brother. That's the best compliment so far.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got to tell you where I wanted to start today and I already told you this before camera started rolling.
Right. You
were so polite and such a gentleman. I introduced this conversation onto social media a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And I said, you're a master of like micro expression analysis.
Yes.
And you texted me so polite. By the way, it's not micro expression.
Right.
What is it?
It's resting facial features.
Okay.
And the reason for that is I'm a big fan of micro expressions. The show Lie to Me, still on Hulu. Love to watch that one.
Yeah.
But I was so worried that I'd be waiting for your face to move that I wouldn't be paying attention to the conversation.
Okay.
So what I found was in 2010, I didn't find it. It ran across my path. Most things in life aren't planned. A friend came in from out of town. She said, let's go to dinner. I show up at the restaurant. She says, hey, I'm not going to make it. I'm like, okay, here we go. She says, you got to come meet this guy. I go, why? She goes, he reads faces. And I go, yeah, that's a bunch of BS. I've never heard of it. I've got books on body language. I've got books on everything. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
She finally convinced me to go, but I went to go prove that this guy was a fraud.
So your incentive was to prove he was wrong.
He ruined my night. I was going to ruin his, right? Like, let's go. Maybe a little bit ornery back then, but I did. I legitimately had, being an introvert, I always picked up books on body language. So I was thrown into sales. I didn't want to go into sales, but I picked up books on networking, how to win friends and influence people. My college roommate sold cars, then pharmaceutical drugs. And so every time he would go to a seminar, he'd come back with a book. He wouldn't read it, but I would. Yeah. Because I'm an introvert. And I'm like, how do I understand people more?
Sure.
But I'd never heard of face reading. Yeah. And so I thought, I'm going to just prove this guy's a fraud.
Yeah.
And I went with that intent. But when I showed up, this nice little guy had a genuine smile. It's like, ooh, I can't hate him right off the bat.
Right.
But I still wanted to catch him. Yeah. And then he sat us all down around a table and he went person by person. And I've read books on mentalism, magic, which is, showmanship, you name it. Things like Barnum statements, which they can apply to anyone. Like, oh, you've had a hard time in life. Yeah. Same thing.
They're suggestive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where your brain naturally fills in the gap.
Yeah.
Yes. So I thought, I'm going to get this guy.
Yeah.
And as he went person by person, I would look to see, are their features the same or are they different? And if they're the same, did he say the same thing? Or not? Yeah. Or if they were different, did he say the same thing? So I'm paying attention. I really want to get this guy.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. And I was like, okay. And then he got to me. Yeah. And when he's done, I was like, this dude's been digging through my trash. And it's not like personal details, but just how do you function? How do you take in information? How do you process information? And what I realized very quickly was it was the first skill that I could proactively do. Meaning I can go look up people on LinkedIn. I could go look them up on social media.
Great point.
Yeah. And I would go and do that. So I bought, as a matter of fact, in my bag, I still have the book that I picked up in 2010. Yeah. Then I bought the flashcards and then I studied with them. So I live in Dallas, Texas. I drive from Dallas to Fort Worth, 45 minutes each way, twice a month to do group training. And I just picked it up, but I'm a product of the product. That's the whole thing. That's why I'm a big believer in it. That's why I got fired from corporate America. We'll talk about that later.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, best thing that ever happened. It sucked at the time and it set me free at the exact same time.
Sure.
But I was in sales and, everything in sales, they teach you is wrong, which is just talk about your product and why you're the best company and blah, blah. Nobody likes to hang out with somebody who talks about themselves incessantly. Yeah. What do people want? To know, are you having a conversation with me? Like if I sat like this, like most people do now, or the common thing you see when you're at a restaurant right now.
Yeah, the phone's out.
Yeah, the phones are out the whole time.
Yeah.
And, but what I loved about it is I could craft the presentation for the person instead of just pitch my product. So I'd go in and look like, are they auditory? Are they visual? Are they kinesthetic? Do they want facts, figures, data? Do they want you to help them understand so they can help other people? Do they want to help other people first?
Yeah.
All those things are written on somebody's face.
Can I share a testimony with you?
Absolutely.
So I think it's because I had a personal relationship with you.
Yeah.
I had a natural proclivity to trust you.
Yes.
Right? So I didn't, in even one moment in time, that I think this is bullshit. But admittedly, I didn't know anything about it.
Right.
Right. But I still took a leap and I invited you into my own personal business mastermind to teach my students.
Yes.
These basic, you didn't go in depth. We only had an hour.
You can't. Yeah.
You kind of gave them the overarching principles, right? Yes. That's the day I became a believer because I'm like, God, this shit all makes sense. There's a logical trajectory to it all.
Correct.
Yeah. And look, we don't have visuals right now. We don't have 2 hours or 2 weeks right now, but there's two things I hope to accomplish.
Yes.
Right. Number one is some brass bones basics.
Sure.
But really, what's the application? Because not everybody who's watching and listening right now is a salesperson.
Correct.
But this is where you got me.
Yeah.
You never said this. I deduced it myself. When you were presenting to my group, I'm like, this shit's applicable in so many aspects of life.
100%.
I just need to understand where.
Yes.
Like that's what I want to know.
It's social, it's soft skills, it's emotional intelligence skills. So it applies universally. That's why the hardest thing is when people go, who's your ideal avatar? Anyone with a face. So that's a lot of people.
Great answer.
But it all depends on what they're looking for. Is it team building? Is it somebody who was an employee who became a leader, who sometimes the best players don't make the best coaches?
Yep.
And they know how to get the job done, but they don't know how to work with other people.
That makes sense. What
Yeah.
what about, I mean, I'm being hypothetical.
Yes.
Parent-child. A parent understanding their child better.
They can. The thing is, children are still developing. So let's go to infancy.
Okay.
What are all babies born with? Large eyes, and their other features are small.
Yep.
Because they take in the world visually. Now, what happens over time is they learn to understand what sounds mean before they learn to make sounds. But over time, that will change. So then it becomes all babies are visual first, because all babies are born with is a fear of loud noises and a fear of heights.
Right.
Why? Those two things keep them alive.
Yeah.
So if you've ever seen a baby go towards, like, let's say it's crawling on here, they know, oh my gosh, that's a long distance.
Yeah.
They don't know feet or inches or anything, but they know that's dangerous. It's built into our DNA. But over time, the large eyes may go smaller. Ears may get bigger. This area right here may get bigger, which is the kinesthetic. And so it all depends on the age of the child as to where it is. But the best part is you can go from 2 years old to 80 years old. It's the same thing.
Really?
Where are they today?
Okay.
Because there's 43 muscles in the face. The mind creates movement, movement creates muscle. You guys, of all people, know this. Why? You guys are masters of figuring out how to make the body optimal. You know, you with strength, her with bodybuilding, you name it. But what's interesting is we should have been taught this, but Henry VIII pulled it out of colleges because he said, I don't like the idea that beggars or vagabonds can use this against their fellow man. And he pulled it out of colleges.
This information.
So it's called Physiognomy. The very first book was written by Aristotle.
Yeah.
When people go to Google it, the first thing that shows up is it's called a pseudoscience. And everybody immediately goes, oh, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
It's fake.
Right.
Yeah.
A pseudoscience is anything that was called a science that doesn't meet all 5 metrics of the scientific method with 100% accuracy all the time.
Yeah.
Guess what else doesn't? Body language doesn't, statement analysis doesn't. Tell me the right way to brush your teeth. Is there one right way to do it?
Right.
No.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny because when you introduce something new to people, they immediately go, I need white papers. I need the studies that prove it. And I go, show me a white paper on the best way to brush your teeth.
Yeah.
There isn't one.
Right.
And the saddest thing is the skills we need the most, especially in this digital age, are the ones that people are the most defiant about. And really, we're losing touch with each other. There was a study done, Intelligent.com did a study in December 2023. 800 employers tried to hire kids right out of high school and college. 53% of them couldn't make eye contact during a job interview.
Really?
Yeah. And I think it's
actually, that tracks. I believe that.
Yeah.
My initial shock was really?
Yeah.
But now I'm like, no, I actually can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next one is, I think it's 27% refuse to turn on their camera for a virtual interview.
Wow.
And it's because they've grown up with these devices, right? Where this device gives you the ability to perfect everything. I don't like the picture, delete it, take a new one.
Yeah.
So the idea of meeting face to face is terrifying to them.
It creates social anxieties.
Yes.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I never thought the digital world would present a backdrop where your area of expertise becomes even more critical than it is.
Oh, well, think about it right now. So I don't know how heavy you are into AI, but AI can send text messages. AI can send emails.
Yep.
The only thing that will keep you in business or employed is your personal connection with people.
Right.
Because for a lot of people, it's going to be a race to the bottom. Who's more efficient? Who costs less? But you know where cost isn't a factor? Where relationships are.
Yeah, networks.
Yes.
Yeah. Real relationships.
Yes.
Isn't it funny how we're circling back to the beginning?
Yeah.
I've been teaching this for a long time that, the path to a better business, as an example, is relationship development.
Yes.
Nurturing over time. It's what can I give, not what can I get.
Right.
And listen, I learned that in the 1980s from a book called The Referral of a Lifetime, quite literally.
Okay. Yeah.
It's unbelievably poignant, and how he suggests you create relationships with people in your community, how you understand what each relationship means on a scale of A to E. And he's very specific about each category. And it makes perfect sense if you don't read it cynically, it makes perfect sense.
Right.
His whole point is the game is to move everybody into the category of A. And A implies these are people who will tell other people about you because of the great interaction they've had, the great experience they've had. They will proactively tell people.
Right.
Everybody should be moved into A's.
Yes.
So if in my network, you start off as a C, how do I get you to the A?
Right.
Or you start off as an E, how do I get you to B and eventually A?
Yes.
It's a brilliant book. But the thing is, it's even more relevant now.
Way more relevant.
1980s, it was relevant.
Yes.
2025, it's even more relevant.
Well, if you think about it, we've gone through some very interesting times the last few years. So 2024 was a great resignation. And that was people had to go back into the office and they didn't feel seen and heard.
Right.
And so they quit because they're like, I don't want to be a number. I want work-life balance.
Yeah.
My boss doesn't appreciate me. So the great resignation was 2024. 2025 was, oh gosh, I forget the name of it, but basically, the great unbossing.
Okay.
So what companies saw was, oh crap, we have to cut back, but we need the workers and we don't want to get rid of anybody in the C-suite.
Yeah.
So they cut the mid-level managers.
Yeah.
I'm 50. When I was growing up, mid-level management was like the sweet spot because you could hide, you weren't really out in public, and you could retire that way. Look at how many people have lost their jobs this past year. But the problem is now the people way up here don't know how to talk to the workers. Yeah. So that's why so many companies are struggling. It's not just people not buying products. It's they got rid of the connectors in the middle to save money. And the people up here don't know how to talk to the workers down here.
Communication deficit.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah. And everything you need in life, someone else can help you get it. But you have to learn how to ask for it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a hard thing. Number one, it's hard depending on again, I'm 50. We were taught not to ask for anybody's help.
Yep.
But even now, it's not just how do I ask for it, but how do I make you understand what I'm asking for?
Sure.
Because we've grown up on such different worlds and different experiences. And that's like the analogy I give is, well, why do you want to learn what somebody else's face says and how to change the message? It's like traveling internationally. I can go to another country and I hope they speak English. And if they don't, speaking English louder doesn't help.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe if I yell it.
Yes, yeah. If I yell it, somehow it works better.
Yeah.
But if you try to speak their language, then they try to speak yours. So I was a very young traveler when I first started, and I'm like, why don't they understand English? And I realized I was going to their territory. And if I need something from them, whose job is it to learn their language? Of
course.
Mine.
Yeah.
So I would start learning phonetic phrases, not the right way to spell it, because I didn't need to write it out, but how to say, please, thank you, good morning, good afternoon. When you try to speak somebody else's language, they try to speak yours.
Yeah.
It's not manipulation. It's connection.
It's a natural human instinct.
Yes.
Give and take.
Yeah.
Or give and give.
Yes. Give and give. Yes.
Out of curiosity, you just got to be charged on something. Let's just pretend I go to a foreign country.
Yes.
Do the rules of your specialty apply universally?
100%.
So it's not a cultural thing.
And it's not a gender thing. It's not a cultural thing. Now, some people will get really worried and go, oh, well, that one feature is prevalent in that culture.
Yeah.
Okay, skip it. There's 150 different features to look at.
Fair.
So if you're worried that one feature may upset somebody, move on to the next one.
I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to ask a series of naive questions, but
go for it.
We're here.
That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
This is education for everyone.
100%. And I one of the reasons I love doing these conversations is that I learn so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is there a specific part of the face? Is your eyes? Axioms, idioms, eyes are the windows to the soul.
Right.
So we're conditioned to believe the eyes are probably the most powerfully emotive part of the face. Is there any truth to, not that axiom, but is there truth to any of these facial recognition parts?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So when we say keep a stiff upper lip, people who have thinner upper lips, we say that because we want them to be stoic.
Yeah.
Well, why is that there? Because of lip suppression. So in body language, when you want to say something, but you hold back, you go.
Yep.
And that flattens your lip over time. So when you go to any former communist country, Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, you name it, a lot of the older generations have thinner upper lips because if you gave your opinion in public, right?
100% true.
But you can go to those same countries with the younger people who've grown up with freedom of speech, and what do they have? Larger upper lips.
Yeah.
When we say take one on the chin, it's not a boxing or martial arts term. It's how do people handle criticism and adversity.
Okay.
So if you meet somebody that has a smaller chin, that they don't handle it as well. Criticism sounds like screaming. Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting.
It is.
So there are axioms that align to the facial recognition.
Absolutely. If somebody says, I'm all ears, they're auditory.
Right.
They're literally telling you, let me hear it, versus I'm visual. I want to see it. So we talk about faces all the time. And here's the funny thing. We've been trained without knowing it because the same courses I'm talking about were taught to 3 groups. Attorneys for jury consulting, authors for character development, and artists to draw characters.
Totally tracks.
And so that's the funny thing is like I have in my presentations, Spock. What did they do with the characters that play Spock? They do a straight eyebrow. Well, straight eyebrows are get straight to the point. Facts, figures, data. Leonard Nimoy and the guy who plays Star Trek in this generation, he doesn't have straight eyebrows. They draw them on to enhance the character development. of the person.
So it gives me as a viewer
Yes.
an unconscious representation that he's going to be data driven
Yes.
and number oriented and very quick to respond straight
Correct.
to the point.
Yeah, straight to the point.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing is every book that was required reading in school, well, back when the authors wrote it, so even Edgar Allan Poe, Dickinson, you can go and Google their names in physiognomy. They took courses because they had to learn how to do character development.
Fascinating.
So even if you want to write a book, there's only two ways to describe characters in a book, and that's through their actions and through their facial features. Now, current books, you can write about their Lamborghini and their Rolex watches and their red bottom shoes and their whatever else.
Yeah.
But older books, men wore suits, women wore dresses. There wasn't a lot of ways to describe their life.
The variances were minimal at best.
Yeah.
You had to use facial features.
Exactly. Yeah. You were either royalty or you're a peasant.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything really in between.
Yeah.
So we've been trained our entire life because of television, movies, books, fairy tales, you name it. I have an 8-year-old. I watch a lot of Disney shows. Megamind, what does he have? Large forehead.
Yeah.
Right? What do all villains have? A downturned nose and a pointy chin. What do devils and witches have? And you're going back centuries.
Centuries of conditioning. Yeah.
We just don't know
Sure.
that it's been in front of us the entire time. So your audience after today, their reticular activating system, the RAS,
They're going to start scanning.
they're going to start listening for words about phrases, right? I'm all ears, keep your nose to the grindstone is somebody who has a small nose. What are they good at? Repetitive tasks.
Okay.
You know, so we talk about faces nonstop.
And with everything.
Highbrow humor, low brow humor. The higher somebody's eyebrows are, it's like highbrow humor is when somebody tells you a joke and you got to think about it and then you laugh. Lowbrow humor is Jackass and Three Stooges, instant physical comedy. So if somebody's eyebrows are very close to their eye, they make decisions fast.
Okay.
The higher the eyebrow, the more time they need to make a decision. It's a result of going and thinking about things. And so what happens is the 43 muscles in the face are constantly changing.
Yeah.
So a lot of women go, I have my eyebrows tattooed on. Cool. My eyebrows used to be straight. I didn't go get them angled. They
I
changed
remember
over
you
time.
saying that in my group. I do
Yes.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I showed a picture of it.
We comport to our dominances
Yes.
as they evolve.
Yes.
Really?
So you guys knowing the body very well, what happens if somebody has a stroke on this side of their brain? What side of the face goes no?
Yeah.
This side goes no.
Yeah.
This side of the brain, this side goes no. So what that tells you is the brain and the thoughts you have is when you make the repetitive faces over time. And just like any other muscle, the more you use it, the more it grows.
Yep.
The less you use it, the more it shrinks. And that's why when our parents said, don't make that face or it's going to get stuck that way,
Yeah.
there's truth to that.
Really?
Yes. So we could go and look at pictures of people, you know, it could be 2 months, 2 years, 2 decades apart,
Yep.
and they're going to look different because you've had different life experiences. You can take even identical twins, same genetic code, raised in the same household, but they had different life experiences.
Yep.
One may have been great at sports, one may have been bad at sports, and their faces will change based on the expressions that they make over and over again.
Yeah.
So it is to a degree linked to micro expressions, but it's more of what repetitively done has taken effect on their face. On a morbid note, that's why when we go to an open casket funeral, we don't recognize the person in the box because the muscle tension is gone. We're like, who's that?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
That's, I'm going to be honest. Right now, I'm listening.
Yeah.
I'm intently listening.
Yeah.
But my mind is toggling.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite book of all time is an obscure book. It's called Fifth Business
Okay. I've not
by
heard
a
that.
Canadian author named Robertson Davies. It's a beautiful novel. It's, I think 13 people on the planet have read it. It's that obscure. But it was written in the early 1900s. And part of the appeal I love of that book was the way the author Robertson Davies described every character and every scene and every character in the scene. Like, it wasn't just character development, it was scene development and then how those two interacted.
Yes.
And this entire conversation's got me thinking about that book.
Right.
And I'm remembering passages of him commenting on downturned eyebrows.
Yeah.
And elevated ears. And I'm like, God, this is why.
They took courses in physiognomy to learn how to describe characters in the book.
Sure.
And like we didn't talk about earlier, but you don't even know it. I carry to this day with everywhere I go, I carry the book that I learned from because people are always saying, oh, you must be born with this. I'm like, no, I'm not born with it. So I carry 2 things with me everywhere because I want people to know that this is a learned skill.
Yeah.
So I show people, sorry, I got a bunch of stuff in here. I carry the book from 2010. So it's got a different one now, but there's over 150 different facial features.
Yeah.
Even with eyebrows, I could talk about eyebrows for hours.
Okay.
You know, so that's the whole thing is it's been studied And people go, oh, well, that's one person's book. Oh, no, if you go to the back of the book, he lists every single additional references that he studied. And what was he? He was an attorney who learned it for jury consulting.
Right.
But he ended up realizing people need this. And he walked away from his law practice and just taught it around the world full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I have so many questions for you about that, and I'm going to get to them.
Oh, yeah.
I have an off question first.
Sure.
I started manicuring my eyebrows 10 years ago because they were getting bushy. And what I've noticed is now I manicure them all exactly the same way. It's every time it's the same way I manicure.
Sure.
But fundamentally, I don't manicure them the way they originally were set.
You do.
I was going to say, what's the reason for that?
Well, you do. What has happened is the muscles underneath it changed.
Okay.
You can't have a straight eyebrow and say, oh, I'm going to, manicure an angle there.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what, because I get this question all the time, because women go, well, somebody threads my eyebrows, but they can't create what's not there. They can't take a rounded one and give you straight. All they do is enhance what's already there. Now, women that get them tattooed on, yes. Women that draw theirs on, yes. But all you're doing, even when you're trimming it, and the reason you trim it, I can actually show it to you in the book.
Like you're following contours that exist, basically. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The reason that you want to trim them is because naturally, when we see like bushy eyebrows that are kind of intertwined, that it kind of drives us nuts. It's unkempt, it's unclean, right? And so it actually invites people to argue with you. And so look at Walter Cronkite, right? 60 Minutes. What did his eyebrows were like covered his face.
Yeah.
And that's why people would argue with him on the show. But we naturally look for, like looking even the animal kingdom, everything, we want like fine hair that's straight, things like that. We don't like matted hair. We don't like curly things that are out of order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated right now.
Yeah.
So, okay, lawyers, jury selection, sales.
Sales is a no-brainer. Yes.
I want to like add a punctuation to that though, because it's not making the sale. It's creating the network, creating the connection, building the relationship.
Personalizing for the person.
Yeah.
I'll give you the most interesting industry that I teach in, door-to-door sales.
Really?
Because they have 7 seconds before somebody slams the door shut, pulls a gun, or calls the cops. And if you think about it, when you answer the door, you're like, hello?
Yeah.
You don't like, hello, how are you? So body language is out the window.
Sure.
They have seconds. Now they control, they read scripts, they've got their lines memorized. They know, for example, like you and I shouldn't stand shoulder to shoulder, right? Because this is automatically, we're adversaries.
Controversial.
Yes, when you square up with a guy. So what they'll teach is just angle away a little bit.
Yep.
Even that little change doesn't feel as aggressive as this does.
Disarming.
And now we're sitting down, so it's not as bad.
Right.
But if we both were to stand up and we square off, what do we see? Yes.
Immediately agitated, right?
Yeah. And that's the way that it's kind of designed.
Sure.
So they teach body language and things when they knock the door. Knock on the door, step back, turn your body language away.
Yeah.
But what happens when somebody answers the door? Well, you have to know, is that person auditory? Are they visual?
Because you have 7 seconds.
Yeah, you have 7 seconds.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. There's a really good book called The Like Switch. So kind of like light switch, but like Like.
Yeah.
And in that was a former FBI behavioral analysis expert. And they said, when a stranger walks in the door, the first thing we do is we look at their eyebrows to say, are they raised in recognition? Like, hey, how's it going? Or are they furrowed like a foe? Well, since we're already looking here, why not take an extra second and go, what shape are they? How high are they or low are they? To understand the person.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, when you look at eyebrows, you get credit for eye contact at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you're nervous.
That is a credit, isn't it?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. We trust people who look at me when I'm talking to you, right? Like we'll tell people to say that, not you, because you're bigger than me, but but when we like, for example, when my daughter, she's distracted, I say, hey, look at me while I'm talking to you for a second, because we trust people who look at us.
Yeah.
But instinctively, what kept us safe is when we were in tribes, our camps, whatever you want to call it, when a stranger entered, we looked for eyebrows first to see, hey, good to see you again, or hey, and if they were furrowed, then we looked at their hands, say, what can hurt me?
Okay.
So those of us that are alive, why are we here? Because our ancestors survived those attacks from the tribes and everything. So there's certain things that are built into us to a DNA level. We're already looking here anyway. Why not utilize the time?
I love that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Can you look at someone's face and start to generate a relative profile on that person?
100%.
I'm asking.
Yeah.
Can we do that now?
Yeah.
All right.
So
my glasses off,
no, so it's actually better if your glasses are on.
Yeah.
Because you, like me, have angled eyebrows. So angled eyebrows are, what's my angle? Help me understand it. Then I can help other people. So when I'm talking to you, I don't talk about how everybody else wins first. I talk about once you understand this, then you can help other people. Okay. you have larger ears than I. Well, you have larger ears, but you also have large eyes. But I'm gonna say you're auditory first and visual second.
That's exactly
so
right.
I would say like, hey, this sounds like a great idea. You know, what I really heard you say, so what did I say? Sounds like a good idea. What I heard you say, I'm saying that on purpose because you're auditory.
Yeah.
I'm visual. I want to say, hey, once you see what we're going to do together and, you know, you'll picture this, but I'm not. I'm changing my language to speak yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know, like for you, I would send you, and I hate sending voice texts. I would send you a voice text, right? I hate doing them because I'm visual. I want to be able to read it very fast. Yeah. So like, I don't know if you know Janine Driver, the bilanguage expert. She has large ears also, and she has smaller eyes. So when I want Janine's attention, I have to send her a voice text or FaceTime her.
Okay.
Because she wants to hear from me.
Yeah.
Right. But if I just send her a regular text, hey, how's everything going? Days, crickets, nothing.
So because my eyes are smaller proportion than my ears?
In proportion for the size of every feature, all you're looking at is for the size of your whole face is a large feature or a small feature.
Okay.
So you can't compare ears to eyes because ears are always going to be larger than eyes are.
Yeah.
But go and look at the first 2 seasons of The Voice.
Yeah.
What do they all have? Large ears, small eyes.
Yeah.
What is it on The Voice? Well, they listen like this.
Yeah.
If they like what they hear, then they turn around to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you would know by looking at this that he'd rather receive a voice text.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to call you. I'm going to send you a voice text versus sending you memes or anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My meme game is so weak for that reason. Right. When people send me memes, I literally look at my phone in disgust.
Yes.
You're like, what the fuck?
See?
Who has time for this?
That's when I see a voice text, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can still use your voice, but it'll type it out for me, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But what you learn is, depending on who I want to talk to, how do I record it? So I have a friend, Mary, that I think you met Mary in Dallas. You guys were only in Dallas for the one day, though, right?
One day.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
So you met Mary in Dallas. Mary likes to talk over videos.
Yeah.
So I can't just send her a regular text or anything. So while I'm driving somewhere, if I'm killing time, I'm like, all right, I'll send Mary a video.
Yeah.
If I'm talking to Janine, I send her a voice text or I FaceTime her. I FaceTime with my daughter and Janine Driver, right? But if I want to talk to Janine, that's my way to talk to her.
Yeah.
So if my goal is communication with Janine, I change my normal habit to how will she best respond.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to give rise to 2 scientific principles that prove everything right that you're saying right now. So in counseling practice, the art is to comport or slightly manipulate a conversation so the person you're talking to generates the notion that it's their idea, not yours.
Yes.
That's number 1. The neurological premise behind that is what we always call neurology 101. Your brain believes you, not me.
100%.
So our brains believe us.
Yes.
So the way you manipulate is such a negative word, but it doesn't have negative connotation unless applied.
It's been misunderstood.
Completely, right? But just the way you phrased it before, you'd manipulate the sounds like a great idea because you can tell that I'm an auditory person.
Correct.
What you're doing is unconsciously mapping a connection between you and I.
Correct.
And that's all very lizard brain.
Yes.
So your energetic profile in my lizard brain, which isn't conscious, it's not aware.
Right.
It's not creating meaning or rationale behind why I feel.
Right.
I trust this guy.
Yes.
But if you're talking about sales, or you're talking about things that require persuasion in a good way, the more you can get me to trust you, the faster the result's going to happen.
Well, exactly.
This is powerful.
It's the speed of efficiency. And that is, there's studies, and if you do a perplexity study and ask, if I learn soft skills, emotional intelligence skills, what are the benefits? 28% higher win rate.
Yep.
55% better peer-to-peer connections. And then it's up to 88% boost in productivity. Why? Because if I know how to ask for what I need from you the right way, I'm not wasting time.
Yeah.
So if I know for you, it's auditory.
Agreed.
If I know for Janine, it's auditory. If I know for Mary, it's video. If I know for this person, it's text.
Yeah.
Then I know how to get the information faster.
Yeah. One day I'm going to send you a slide deck.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember to do it soon, actually, because it contributes to everything you just said. I used to do a lot of consulting work for corporations, and what I would teach is corporate emotional intelligence. How does your corporation function from an EQ perspective?
Yes.
And to make that sell, you have to convince the executive this is worth their time.
Yes.
Because EQ is a soft skill.
So let's use that as an example. Yeah. So sometimes who you're dealing with isn't the final approval, an authority person, right? Yeah. So what I do is in my presentations, even if I'm talking to you and you're more auditory, I'm still going to sneak in words that are visual and kinesthetic also, because what if you forward it on to somebody else for approval?
Absolutely.
That way, I'm not alienating 2/3 of the people because I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
in all your advertising, your marketing, you should have auditory, visual, and kinesthetic wording.
Yeah.
Auditory sounds like a great idea. I hear where you're coming from. Visual, I get the idea. Oh, picture this. Hey, I want you to see something. Kinesthetic, hey, come take a look at this. Now, look at this could be seen as visual, or hey, let's take a walk at this. Like you couldn't do it in so many different areas. So if somebody's coming to look at a house, for example, and let's say they're kinesthetic, you can pick up on it because as they walk through the house, they'll touch stuff. You know, so then you know they're hands-on kinesthetic person. If I'm working on a contract with somebody and I know they're kinesthetic, and how do I know that? It's because below the nose and above the lip, the wider this area is, the more kinesthetic hands-on they are. I'll say, hey, I know we got a copy of the contract. Why don't you print it out so we can go over it? We don't need to print it out, but they need something to hold.
Yeah.
And so I'll have them print it out and then we can make notes on that. We could do it all on the computer, but that's not the way they work.
You know, you just taught me something about myself. It's going to sound like the craziest example.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is not a mirage. I work as a bartender.
Yeah.
And every bar I've ever worked at for the last couple of years at least, when you sign on, they give you an option. Do you want your pay automatically deposited or do you want the paycheck? I always thought the paycheck.
Yeah.
Nobody understands why. I'm like, I just like getting, I like to touch it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm touching the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never thought of myself
binary
as,
numbers.
I've never thought of myself as kinesthetic that way, but it actually tracks completely.
Well, and one of the things that you have is you also have a Cupid's bow in your upper lip.
I do.
So that is a Cupid's bow is a subconscious sign that says, listen to me when I talk. Now, you're lucky you're born with it. I have one too. That's why I have to trim my goatee to make sure people can see that.
Okay.
But if you go and look, the number one plastic surgery right now, upper lip enhancement.
Is it really?
Yes. And
Not just to enlarge?
well, it's to enlarge it, but when they enlarge it, they also give them a Cupid's bow. So go and look. And the whole reason they do that, again, we say the phrase, keep a stiff upper lip.
Yeah.
Well, if we say that and we know that means, hey, be stoic, well, someone will get the upper lip enhance and it's an affect change that has an effect. And that is when we see larger lips, we think, oh, they're more approachable. They get approached more. So all of a sudden that affect change affects how they're treated. And that's why sometimes they won't stop getting them enlarged until they look like they got punched in the face by Mike Tyson, right? It's because they saw a change in how they were treated. Yes.
We were talking about that just earlier today as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, where you live, come on. Like I live in Dallas, which is the second worst one for that.
So true.
But look at older women before there was Botox and there was lip enhancement and everything else. Older women in their 80s and 90s, when they put on lipstick, they drew larger lips than they actually had.
Yeah.
So if we see a romantic kiss, is it a thin lip or a full lip?
Full. Every time.
That's what I'm saying. We're influenced all the time, everywhere we look on what do these faces mean. So, you know, Valentine's Day is never thin lips. Yeah. It's always big, full lips giving kisses.
So true.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to say this in closing. Every post-secondary graduate school counseling program on the planet needs to hire you as a consultant to embed curriculum in. Yeah. I mean that sincerely. Because every counselor knows the first game, game is such a slacky way of saying it, but the first objective is to get the person in front of you or understanding what it is you're trying to tell them. Or how do we match
Create
the
connection.
highway,
Create connection, yes.
And if I could just assess some things, that would change the game.
Well, that's the whole thing. So we didn't get a chance to really talk about this, but when I said it was a proactive skill, I would go in and look up people on LinkedIn ahead of time and start thinking, what's the best presentation for that person? Yeah. So it was the first proactive skill I'd ever seen. Body language, you got to move. Statement analysis, you got to say something. Disc, you got to take a test. But you know what you don't have to do? Your face is out there everywhere. Right. So I would start on LinkedIn, then I go to social media. Why social media? Because some people don't update their LinkedIn profile for like 12 and a half years. Now I want to know who the person is now. It's not airbrushed. It's also not inverted, because you asked about this earlier. It doesn't matter where in the world you are. It doesn't matter your gender. This is always the personal side and this is the professional side. And the reason I bring that up is sometimes we have—
Left and right?
Yes, left and right. Easy way to remember, if I say, hey, are you married? Personal question. Wedding ring goes on this hand. This is always the personal side. Left. Yes. So this side is always personal. And the reason I say that is not everybody has a symmetrical face. Yeah. So some people can have a straight eyebrow over here and an angled eyebrow over here. Well, then I have to know, what am I talking to them about? Is it something in their personal life? Are they buying a house, a car, or whatever? Or is it a professional decision? And then I have to know, which side am I talking to? But it's crazy. When you start looking at people, nobody's perfectly symmetrical. It's why we don't trust robots, because robots are exactly the same on both sides. in the 80s, marketing tried to do studies where they took one side of somebody's face and they flipped it over and put it on the other side. And all those marketing ads tanked.
Really?
Because we don't expect perfection. We expect to see things that aren't right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I want to ask if there's a website people watching, listening can come and reference it. Do you teach this?
Oh, absolutely. That's all I do. I'm a full-time speaker, trainer, coach, all that good stuff.
Beautiful.
So the company is Subtle Skills, but what I learned is nobody can spell subtle.
It has a B.
Yes, it does have a B. So I bought Decode the Face also because that makes it easy for everybody to remember. Yeah.
Decodetheface.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine anybody wouldn't be interested after hearing this, just in understanding more.
So the funny thing, like, who are clients? During the pandemic, what everybody go to? Online dating, right? Which is what? A picture and a bunch of lies down below. So I created lookingforloveandallthewrongfaces.com because I was so tired of people sending me pictures. What does this mean? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Sales teams are a no-brainer because every sales team has a budget.
Yeah.
But where our companies need it the most, leadership and team building, team bonding.
Yeah.
Because right now we live in a world that's divided to find all the reasons that we aren't alike when we should be searching for all the reasons we are alike. Or how do I understand, how do we meet in the middle? That's how we come back together. We need more unity than ever in our lives.
Decodetheface.com.
Yep, decodetheface.com.
Let's close out by clinking to our dearly departed Steve Sims.
Absolutely. This is the reason we met. Thank you for having me here. Yeah.